Good morning, children. Welcome to our ninth standard civics second chapter, the constitutional design. Previously, we learned about why democracy and what is democracy. We have seen some of the important features of democracy, and even we have seen some examples where actually democracy failed. That is the countries like China and even Mexico and even Zimbabwe. In all these countries, actually, how even though the people have right to vote, how democracy actually failed, that we have seen. And even under conclusion of that chapter, first chapter, we learned some of the important arguments in favor of democracy and against democracy, all we have seen. So after understanding what is democracy, in the second chapter you are going to see that is how our constitution actually framed. Of course, you might have learnt how the Indian constitution was actually framed and even what are the important features of our constitution. Some you learnt about our constitution. But here you are going to see some more details. That means what was the work done before bringing our constitution into force. And coming to our chapter, present chapter, constitutional design, you are going to see about one important nation. See, whenever I refer the country name South Africa, generally you remember a great leader name. Who is that? That is Nelson Mandela. Who is that? Nelson Mandela. The Nelson Mandela, a great personality, person who fought continuously against a racial discrimination, the method of racial discrimination, that is apartheid. What was apartheid? Apartheid implies complete segregation, socially and politically, of whites and the non-whites. What is apartheid? Apartheid implies complete segregation. Segregation means separation. So, separation of whom? How we are separating whites and non-whites? We are separating whites and non-whites socially as well as politically. So, what is social separation? What is political separation? Social separation means in society, if you separate some sections of the society from other sections, that is called social segregation, social separation. How political separation? Political separation means if some sections elect some leaders separately and some other sections elect their own leaders separately, not combinedly, that is called political separation. So here you are going to see how that method was actually implemented against the non-whites in South Africa and who actually fought against such important method, that is what? Apartheid. Those details we are going to see. The first of all, you have to understand how the great personality was actually arrested. So whenever Nelson Mandela and some other, nearly 7 other members opposed against this apartheid, particularly this whenever these people opposed, 7 and this Nelson Mandela were actually arrested and they were imprisoned in the island, that is what? Robben Island. Robben Island. So what happened in 1964? The Nelson Mandela and 7 other personalities in South Africa, the people who opposed the method of, that is what? The important method, that is what? The method which actually segregated all the people in South Africa. So the Nelson Mandela and 7 other people were imprisoned and they were given life imprisonment and they were kept in Robben Island of South Africa. See, why they opposed? what was there behind this method, how that method was actually implemented in South Africa, and what were the important acts made against South Africa, that we have to understand. So the first important one, we have to see what are the important acts made. The first important one, Group Areas Act. Group Areas Act was made in 1950. What was the first act? Group Areas Act was made in 1950. According to this Group Areas Act, the entire population of South Africa was actually divided into different sections. What are those sections? The first important one, whites. This is the first group. Who are called whites? The people, particularly British people, who were ruling South Africa. See, actually in the 17th and 18th centuries, some European companies came to South Africa and they settled in South Africa, and even they became rulers. The colonization of India and the colonization of South Africa have some similarities. What are those similarities? So how even India was also became a colony to British. South Africa also became a colony to British. But there is one difference. What is the difference? In India, only the representatives of British ruled India. That means some viceroys, some governor generals, and some little army only controlled India. But in South Africa, what happened? More and more British people, more and more whites actually came and settled in South Africa, and they began to rule, and they became rulers of South Africa. That is the difference between India's colonization and South Africa's colonization. So here, according to Group Areas Act, they wanted to divide the entire population into so many categories. Under that, the whites, the first category. Under whites means that is what? British. And the next important one is the natives of Africa. The natives of Africa, those were called blacks. What is the second category? The natives of Africa. Natives of Africa. As they were in black color, the second category, those were blacks. And they constitute nearly 3/4 of total population. 3/4 of total population. In which country's population? In South Africa. That means 75% of South Africa population are blacks. And most of the acts which were made by the British, particularly whites, all those acts were particularly against blacks. This second category. Third important one, who are called colored. What is third one? Colored. Who are called colored? Those were mixed races. Mixed races. Mixed races. There was no particular race. No black, no white. More and more people who belong to different races, those were called colored. And fourth important one, the people who migrated from India. That is, some Indians. So how many they were? Nearly more than 3.5 lakh Indians settled in South Africa, and they were also subjected for this racial discrimination which was called apartheid. And even you might have learnt about how Mahatma Gandhi fought against this racial discrimination even in South Africa. Mahatma Gandhi, after completing his law course in Britain, he came back to India, and in 1893, he went to South Africa for the practice of law. Whenever he went to South Africa, there he observed a racial discrimination which was going against non-whites. So he also fought against that racial discrimination. He also faced so many problems in South Africa, and in this way the Group Areas Act divided the entire society into different categories. So these whites particularly, they considered all the non-whites as inferior. Who were superior? Whites were superior. In what way they were discriminated? In public places, in public toilets, in cinema halls, in playgrounds, in museums, in libraries, in hotels. In all these places, areas are separate. The areas which are separate, which are meant for whites, in those areas, the non-whites should not enter. And even I have provided some slides under another link. You better to observe that in what way these people are separated. Even in a beach, some areas are meant only for white. So in such areas, white only should enter. Other areas which are meant for non-whites, in those areas the non-whites can enter and they can enjoy in those places. Even in hotel, even in case of stepping out into the upstairs, first floor, second floor, third floor, steps are separate. So with this you can easily understand in what way, in what way actually they were separated, in what way apartheid was implemented in South Africa. Understood? So this is the first act which was made against non-whites by British, particularly white. Now second one, let us see the second one. Yes, children. So previously what we have seen, the first important one, that is Group Areas Act. So in what way the non-whites were discriminated, you have seen. The second one, Separate Representation of Voters Act 1951. According to this act, the voter lists were completely prepared separately. So whites voter list is different from non-whites. The non-whites should elect their leaders separately and whites can elect their leaders separately. That means the non-whites cannot exercise their vote to the whites. So that is what Separate Representation of Voters Act 1951. Next, Bantu Educational Act, another act which was made against non-whites. Under this Bantu Educational Act, the act which actually prevented from integrating of South African educated youth into the white community. That means the African youth cannot integrate, they cannot mingle, they cannot go into the whites. That means whites do not allow the educated African youth into their community. Even though they are educated, they don't offer any kind of opportunity, any kind of job in their works. And Pasla Act 1960, according to this act, any African, any non-white male, while getting out of their house, they have to carry one identity card. So even though they are living in their own country, they have to carry the identity card separately, the identity card which shows that they belong to non-whites. That means they may be people who migrated from India, and those maybe belong to colored, those maybe belong to black. So in identity card that shows for which community they belong. So in that way, whenever more and more acts were made against the non-whites in South Africa, all people began to oppose this. And particularly from 1950s onwards, from 1950 onwards, more and more resentment you can observe in South Africa. In what way? In the form of strikes, in the form of protests, in the form of rallies, in the different ways. The South African people, particularly non-whites, they showed their resentment against white from 1950 onwards. So before 1950 itself, one organization was formed to fight against this racial discrimination, that is African National Congress. What is that? African National Congress. Under African National Congress, under this party, even so many worker unions, Even communist parties also became part. And even Nelson Mandela, the person who was imprisoned in 1964, particularly, he also worked under the African National Congress. He fought against the racial discrimination which was going on in South Africa. And because of their continuous effort, even other countries of the world also recognized, and they also warned, they also opposed the racial discrimination which was going on in South Africa. What were the steps actually taken by those countries? Particularly, the South African Union was completely sent out from the Commonwealth Association. Commonwealth Association in 1960. See, the South African Union was completely sent out from Commonwealth Association. What was Commonwealth Association? The association which was formed with the countries which were once ruled by British. All those countries are called Commonwealth countries, Commonwealth nations. Even India is also a Commonwealth nation. So South Africa was completely sent out from the Commonwealth Association. So in spite of all these steps, the white continued their racial discrimination method. That is what apartheid. So one side the African National Congress and even the people all together, they fought against this racial discrimination. Whenever the white people realized it was not possible to continue to implement this method, slowly they began to modify all the acts. What were those? Particularly, they lifted out all the restrictions which were there on press. That means before 1960, more and more restrictions were there on media. The media should not expose all the important news against the white. So some restrictions have been lifted out and some acts have been changed. So in that way, the continuous effort of all those people resulted in that way. And finally, after 28 years, that is 1992, Nelson Mandela was released from the prison. Just after 2 years, 1994, April 26, midnight, the South African Union became independent. A new national flag was unfurled in South Africa. 1994, April 26th. So whenever the South Africa became independent, Nelson Mandela was elected as new president for South African Union, and they started to frame their own constitution. Nearly they took 2 years to frame their own constitution, the constitution which actually stood for the aspirations and ideals and interests of South African people. So this time the Constitution of South Africa actually stands for the ideals, aspirations and ideas, the goals of South African people, in which all communities, all races, without any kind of discrimination, have got equal justice. In such a way, they made their own constitution. And even they considered that they have recognized even some of the rights of whites also. In such a way, the constitution was framed in South Africa. So that was one important example how the people fought against the method and how they framed their own constitution. So why this example was taken before explaining how our constitution was framed? In order to explain the need of constitution, the constitution which actually should stand for the aspirations and ideals of that country's people. Okay children, I hope you understood in what way a struggle against apartheid was went against whites in Africa. And in the coming topic we are going to see how our constitution was actually framed. So in this present worksheet you should observe both the video and as well as some slides so that you can easily understand and try to answer all the questions. Thank you.